Today we have two videos. The first one's going to be showing very erratic driver behavior, and this is something that we really got to be careful about because we will lose against a car like this. The second one is going to be a low side accident, something that can be preventable, but sometimes just creeps up on you. Really going to be that whole situational awareness. We're going to be utilizing the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. You're going to consistently be doing that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I do have a video linked in the description that talks about all of this and will actually explain everything. We're also going to be utilizing the color code chart. So remember, we're constantly fluctuating between what we need to be doing and how we need to be doing stuff so that we stay safe. In this situation, we kind of went out of protecting ourselves, more so what's going on with this other driver, when in reality we should not be caring. We should be caring only about our own safety. It's our responsibility. So when we get to this position right here, we're going 75. It's going to be interstate speeds, perfectly fine. He's going with the flow of traffic. You see right here, he even notices it with his own editing that this driver is going crazy and erratic. But let's go ahead and go back just a little bit. It almost looks like this driver is consistently riding up on the vehicle in front, which is going to be that white vehicle, constantly pushing him out of the way. Right now, this is going to indicate this person's very impatient. I personally, as a rider and driver, want to stay away from this person. So he's going to be pushing this person out of the way, and he's actually going to get behind them thinking that, I'm just going to pass him. I have a good open spot. Cut off this driver right here, and then the white vehicle is just going to take off, and this driver is going to come back into this lane thinking, oh, I got an open lane, I'm going to go ahead and go. You start to pick these things out, and when you see that ahead of time, the best bet is to either just stay way behind, let them just gun it and get out of the situation, or you go way in front of them. Either way, stay away from them. They're even a bigger landmine than a normal car. So he's going to be like, okay, what the heck? What's the problem? So now he's going to get back in his lane thinking he has an open spot. Now this driver got into this lane right here. So now he's just like very frustrated, very impatient, and that's going to cause really bad problems for us as a motorcycle rider because we don't have that protection. So right here, this is when the motorcycle rider is like, either I'm going to get up there and see what's going on, or don't want to feel like slowing down and I'm going to go around this person. In this situation, it's very good just to observe and see what he's going to do, and if he's that impatient, he is going to find a way to get around all these people and then just take off. Let him get away from that 8-second bubble that you're trying to create in front, side to side, and behind you, that big space cushion. Let him just get out of that. So right here, we're going to go ahead and accelerate and get past this guy, or try to. But if you notice, he does have his indicator. Now, I know he had his indicator on for most of this situation because he's just going back and forth, back and forth. Originally put that indicator on. It's not canceling. So I understand that maybe, maybe he's not going to get in this lane. He got in this lane. He's done. So remember, human behavior in this situation, he doesn't care. He just wants to get going. He wants to get out of here. So if you see this, if you recognize this, just stay away. Stay far back, relax a little bit, maybe add 20 seconds to your commute because you slow down and just let him go. That's perfectly fine. I'd rather do that than get this close. That's going to happen right here. So at this point, he's definitely going to be cutting off this driver. And remember, he's very erratic, so he's going to make these moves really quick. So in this situation, you definitely need to be in red stage because right here, you're either going to have to apply the brakes or swerve out of his way. This whole time, once you recognize that there was a big problem, you should have been in orange stage. I've been having that float around the screen this whole time, so making sure you guys understand that. So right here, it's going to be a nice swerve at 78 miles per hour. Now, a swerve at a lower speed, it's going to be a really big input into the handlebars, and you're really going to get moving side to side. At a higher speed like this, 70 plus, 50 plus, whatever it is, very high speeds, it's just going to be a slight movement. It's almost like a counter steering, and it's going to just move you across the lanes. And that's something you can practice right now. If you're out on the road going 45, you can kind of just practice going from lane position 1 to 3, lane position 1 to 3, and that's all you really have to do. So right here, he's going to go from lane position 3 right here all the way to lane position 1, and that's all it's going to take. Now, if he keeps going, because remember how erratic he is, you might have to use the shoulder. So whenever you're in a position like this, realize, hey, you know, I have an escape path within my lane, but I also have an escape path over here onto the shoulder. So utilize that shoulder. Don't be scared of that. It's about as big as an actual lane, so you have quite a bit of room. So he's going to move forward just a little bit like this, and he's going to look at this driver. Now, I personally, natural instinct, I would look at the driver, but I'm going to try my best to look forward. I wouldn't keep my eyes and going back and forth, seeing what's up, what's up. Natural instinct, look at him, but then now you have to look forward. Remember, at 80 miles per hour, somebody do the math here and figure out how many feet per second you are going. That is insane. One's if there's an obstacle in your way. One's if there's a road hazard. So don't look back. I understand why Roaring Pistons did this. I absolutely do. But now we have to fight ourselves to not do it. So make sure you guys are doing that, okay? Make sure you're looking forward. So don't constantly keep looking forward like this. We slowed down already. We're going 58 miles per hour. Remember how impatient this driver is. He doesn't care about you as a motorcyclist. He didn't want to pass the white vehicle earlier like this because the vehicle took up a lot of room. Remember, we're a small little itty-bitty thing on the road. They're going to take it. They really are. We are at the bottom of the food chain. We really need to understand that. So move out of the way. Just let them have it. Get over it. So when he gets to this point, we don't do this, please, guys. I understand it's California, you can lane filter, but in this situation, I definitely wouldn't do it. Remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And in this situation, we're just adding more and more hazards to our overall riding experience. It's not a good situation. So right here, he's going to get himself in a position where he can't escape to the left or right. That's what happens when you lane filter. And remember how erratic this guy is, so he could easily push you into this other car. And now you have to deal with this other car, another incident, and this guy just took off. Not a big problem. But his license plate is right there. So hopefully you have a camera going on. So right here, he's going to go ahead and say, what's up, what's up? It's not working very well in this situation. When you're focused on the driver and the rider or whoever is the one that's causing the problem, you're not looking forward. You're not paying attention. You're not situationally aware. You are tunnel visioned into something that is not good. It's almost like having target fixation on a turn. You're looking where you're not supposed to be going. He's having target fixation on this vehicle where he's not looking where he's supposed to be going and doing what he's supposed to be doing. So guys, let's not do that. Now, this whole point of this situation is to recognize this person's inappropriate driving behavior. If you see that, don't escalate it by joining in. It's always better to sit back and watch the stupid stuff happen and not be a part of it. Don't put yourself into that situation. That is where a lot of riders get hurt. And then also it's going to make you angry. It's going to ruin your ride. You're going to do a lot of dumb stuff that you're going to think about 20 minutes after this, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You don't ever want to be in that situation. Got very lucky that there was no accident, there was no crash, there's no collision. It was just a bunch of, dumb things that were happening. But remember, a multitude of mistakes can lead to a crash. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and jump into something that's a little bit less tense and watch the low side.
Yep, that'll do it.
A lot of you have been asking, what type of bike should I get? What type of gear should I get? Should I get Snell, ECE, DOT, Sharp rated helmets? What do I need to do when it comes to armor and the elbows, shoulder? All these questions, I made an ebook just for you, just to answer those questions. So check it out. Link's going to be in the description. Also, if you want to know how to do some parking lot practice, I do have a website dedicated to free parking lot practice exercises. Check it out also, DDFMcrew.com. Let's jump into this next one. So if you watched the original video, which, by the way, both these videos will be linked in the description for that, is that this guy is actually riding relatively easy. This was one of those things where it's, it's just something bad happened, and I hate to see that, but, that's why we wear gear, guys. Remember to acquire and use personal protective equipment. The whole point of the Smart Rider system is to make sure that we have a backup to our backups. So right here, he has a backup. He's doing pretty fine. and it was just a crappy situation. But right away, I want to point out some things that is going to help us out when it comes to maybe it can mitigate some of the severity of the accident if it just happens randomly, or to prevent the accident in the first place. We have a sign right here. It is very blurred out. It says 45 miles per hour, but typically when you see signs like that, it's either going to have a sharp right, sharp left, or the curve coming up ahead with a speed limit recommendation. So typically the speed limit on this would probably be 55. It's recommending you take this turn coming up ahead as a 45. I know a lot of you guys probably play video games like I do. Used to play racing games. Now, when it would say, hey, this is coming up, and you would slow down, it gives you a good warning. So think about this as like the UI, the user interface of a video game that, hey, 45, sharp turn to the right. That's going to give you a nice clue. Okay, maybe I should take it at 45, sharp turn to the right's coming up. Very good. And that's actually what I use my phone on my handlebars for. So I use Google Maps when it's doing that so I can kind of see what's going on. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move forward a little bit. That was just a little quick tidbit. Perfect everything. Everything just looks good. He probably has good body position. He's not speeding. This is somewhat of a blind turn, but not really. He's in a good spot. Overall, good lane positioning. So in this situation, nothing really bad's happening other than let's go ahead and make sure that we're ratcheting our vision. So we're looking towards this turn right here, and then we're kind of coming back to where we are and going back and forth, back and forth. Our vision is scanning the road consistently just in case something is happening like a pothole or gravel or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and move forward just a little bit right here. Now this is where it's going to happen. This is where the incident is going to happen. Now it says 86, but that's going to be kilometers an hour. So he's going this what he's supposed to be doing. 45, 55, whatever it is. That's pretty much what he's supposed to be doing. So these chevrons right here are also part of that user interface that I was talking about. It's going to let you know, hey, sharp turn ahead. And the closer they are, the closer the chevrons are, the sharper it is. If they're further out, that means how long and winding that turn is. It's still sharp for the standards of the road, but if they're closer and closer and closer, that means it is super sharp. So be very careful. So when I see this, I see these first two means it's a very sharp, and then it's going to slowly open up on the other side. So that's what you need to start doing is using your situational awareness to find these user interface things for your video game while you're riding around, okay? So right here, we're going to move forward a little bit. And a lot of people are going to think, okay, well, the transition of this type of asphalt to that type of asphalt is going to be the biggest problem here. That's not necessarily the truth. Right here, how he drops the bike, it is very unknown what really happened. It could have been gravel on the ground. It could have been oil on the ground. It could have been improperly inflated tires. It could have been cold tires. It could have been a little bit of too much brake pressure to the front brake causing it to dump. See these different things. If it was cold tires with braking with some oil on the ground, definitely going to drop it. Or if you apply too much front brake, you could drop it that way. So you see how there's a multitude of factors, and this is where brainstorming, thinking out loud and talking about these things is very important, because now you know to look for gravel. Now you know not to apply the brakes too hard. Now you know to watch out for any oil and debris on the road, because those things could cause this crash. Now, I don't know exactly what caused this crash, but knowing that these things could cause a loss of traction is very important to me, because now I know, like I said, to not do those things. So when we see a crash, start thinking to yourself, what caused it? What caused it? Why did that happen? How did this happen? And at the end of the day, sometimes you won't even find out. But good thing that we are acquiring and using good personal protective equipment here. And then if we absolutely have to, if we get injured, knowing how to help ourselves, rescue ourselves with medical training. So these are all things that I'm developing with the S.M.A.R.T training system, and I really want you guys to be a part of that. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit one of these videos off to the left of your screen, because you know what? These videos are going to help us out when it comes to being a safer and smarter rider. With that said, hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll be seeing you around.